More than 2 years, the dogfight in the Edo State House of Assembly persists, with 14 elected lawmakers still shut out of the legislature by their colleagues loyal to Governor Godwin OBASEKI. Henry Oliomogbe writes, what the electorate appear to have joined together in Edo State, the Godfather have, no doubt, put asunder. At the mention of Edo State House of Assembly, one question comes up readily. How did the House of Assembly become a divided house, considering the fact that the All Progressive Congress APC, which Governor Godwin OBASEKI belonged to then, won all the 24 seats in the 2019 elections? Most analysts had reasoned that resolving the struggle for the control of the House ever since the ninth time inauguration on June 17, 2019 will be thorny. Almost 3 years after, the end is still not in sight, as both parties have refused to shift positions. From a court challenge in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, to thugs taking control of the House of Assembly complex during the heat of the crisis, to former Speaker Frank Okiye declaring the seat of the 14 lawmakers vacant, the controversies continues. The stage for the impasse was set on June 17, 2019, when Governor Godwin OBASEKI issued a proclamation to a choosing few of 7 lawmakers elect, all members of the APC, which he belonged to then, leaving out the 17 who were not called in the code. Watching what was like a gripping melodrama, the 17 lawmakers who are loyal to the immediate past national chairman of the APC, Comrade Adams Oshomole, swore not to submit themselves for the swearing-in. When the echo of the gavel broke the silence of the night, the 7 lawmakers elected Mr. Frank Okiye, Isan Northeast 1, as Speaker, while Idia Akoko Edo 1 was elected as Deputy Speaker, setting the stage for what is now referred to as the divided Edo State House of Assembly. On August 6, 2020, residents had woken up to the sight of a detachment of armed policemen who blocked the gate of the assembly complex, named after the nationalist chief Anthony Enahoro. There was bear down at the complex over the alleged planned invasion by some persons. Meeting at a secret rendezvous in Benin the previous day, G17, as they were referred to, had administered the oath on the elected Victor Tiger Edoro Esan Central as Speaker, while Emmanuel Agbaje Akoko Edo 1 was selected as Deputy Speaker. Persistent efforts by the APC to resolve the impasse ended in total fiasco. First, the House of Representatives Committee came all the way from Abuja to resolve the crisis, but their work ended in vain as the feding factions refused to concede a yard. Next was the Senate Committee, which flew into the Edo State capital in a last-minute ditch effort to salvage the situation, just like their counterparts in the lower legislative chamber. They unambiguously gave their verdict. Governor Godwin OBASEKI should issue a fresh proclamation, as the first one was deliberately deficient for not inviting all the members elect for the inauguration and election of the principal officers. Both reports were co-signed to the ash heaps as the warring parties clinched to the axiom which holds that concede an inch and the other party demands a feat. The day before the planned assault, former Speaker Okiye had raised the alarm of a plot allegedly by the Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma and top APC leaders in Edo to import a fake maize to take over the complex. He alleged that the Imo governor and the APC leaders who are working with Idiaye aimed to assemble at a secret location in the state to illegally and violently take over control of the assembly. Okiye spoke shortly after the end of a session by the lawmakers, who comprised the Speaker himself and 6 lawmakers at the old Executive Committee chambers, Government House, and resulted in the removal of the Deputy Speaker Idiaye over allegations of gross misconduct. was promptly removed by the erstwhile leader, Mr. Roland Asoro Orion too. Idiaye, however, insisted that his removal was illegal as the lawmakers did not form a quorum, noting that his refusal to toe the line of Governor Obaseki and Okiye and dash to the PDP were regarded as cardinal political sins by his colleagues, hence the actions which he dismissed with a wave of the hand. Idiaye said, "I'm a member of the APC and will always be. Under the APC, I became a commissioner and later a member of the House of Assembly. When the issue of whether to defect to the PDP or not came up, I consulted with my people who insisted that I remain in APC. Citing internal crisis within the APC, Idiaye, Akoko-Edo 1, and Nosayaba Okumbo, Orion 1 East, had since changed their stance and made a move to the PDP. On February 1st last year, the Speaker, Mr. Marcus Onobum, read their letters of resignation from APC on the floor of the House. With the exit of Idiaye and Okumbo, Mr. Emmanuel Agbaje, Akoko-Edo 2, is now the lone man standing for APC in the House. Idiaye explained that he took the decision to dump the APC because of the internal crisis in the party from his ward to the local government, which led to the factions in the party. Okumbo, who also hinged his decision on the division within the party, lamented that the situation has become intractable. The crisis had taken a turn for the worse on December 4th, 2019, when Okiye invoked Section 109, subsection 1F of the Constitution and declared that the seat of the 24 members vacant. The Speaker said that the action followed the refusal of the 12 members elect to present themselves for inauguration, while the remaining 2 allegedly absconded after the oath taking. He accused the 12 members elect of deliberately refusing to present their certificates of return to the clerk of the House for inauguration. Following Okiye's action, the PDP promptly called on the INEC to withdraw the certificates of return issued to the 14 lawmakers. In a letter to the chairman of the commission, by a former publicity secretary of the main opposition party in Edo, Mr. Chris Nahikari, argued that the action was necessary as the affected members have allegedly failed and neglected to take the seats in the House they were elected. He noted that the refusal and neglect by the members-elect to subscribe to the oath of membership and allegiance with respect to the affected constituency throughout the first section and first quarters of the 7th Assembly of Edo State amounts to abdication of office. The secretary said that, sequel to the declaration of the affected constituencies vacant by the Speaker, the Commission should not, in the interest of justice and equity, conduct any fresh elections into the affected constituency, as the affected members-elect did not subscribe to the oath of membership and allegiance and abdicated their responsibilities. He demanded that the certificate of returns should be issued to the first runner-up in their various constituencies, since the members-elect who abdicated their positions did not subscribe to the whole oath of membership and allegiance before their constituencies were declared vacant by the Speaker in the interest of justice and equity. The last shot fired in anger by the different camps may certainly not have been heard in the unfolding drama and commotion which the Edo State House of Assembly has descended into.